The apartment is quieter now. It's a specific kind of quiet, the heavy ringing silence that settles into the corners of a room after the music has been permanently turned off. I sit at the edge of the bed we used to share, tracing the invisible line down the center of the mattress. It's been months, yet the ghost of your presence still occupies the spaces between my breaths. This isn't a story of betrayal or anger or a spectacular explosion that burned our bridge to ash. Those stories are almost easier to digest because they give you a villain. Our story is much harder to tell. We were simply two people who loved each other deeply, caught in the relentless, grinding machinery of life. Sometimes, the greatest tragedies in love are not the ones born of malice, but the ones born of circumstance. We didn't lose our love, we simply lost our war against the world. Do you remember when we first started? We existed in this beautiful, insulated bubble. The world outside was loud, chaotic, and demanding, but inside our shared space, none of it mattered. We had dreams that felt tangible. We mapped out futures on the backs of napkins in dimly lit coffee shops. But universal problems have a way of seeping through the cracks of even the strongest foundations. It started with the subtle pressures of survival, the long hours at work that drained the color from your cheeks, the financial anxieties that turned our late night conversations from dreaming about the future into agonizing over the present, the sheer unyielding exhaustion of just trying to keep up in a world that demands everything and forgives nothing. I remember watching you sit at the kitchen table, staring at the soft glow of your laptop, the weight of the universe resting on your shoulders. I wanted to fix it. I wanted to be the shield that protected you from the harshness of reality. But I was struggling too. We were two drowning people trying to save each other, only to end up pulling each other under. The modern world leaves so little room for the fragile architecture of romance. When you are spending all your energy just trying to survive, there is nothing left in the reservoir for patience, for softness, for us. Love is a delicate flower, but reality is a heavy boot. We tried to grow a garden in the middle of a battlefield, forgetting that even the most beautiful things need safe soil to survive. The arguments weren't about us, not really. They were displaced frustrations. I would snap at you about a misplaced set of keys, but what I was really saying was, I feel powerless. You would pull away and retreat into silence. But what you were really communicating was, I am overwhelmed and I don't know how to ask for help. We stopped being lovers and started being roommates in the business of surviving. The deep, soul-bearing conversations were replaced by logistical check-ins. Did you pay the electric bill? Are you working late again? I'm too tired to cook. I saw the light leaving your eyes, the spark we used to share, being suffocated by the mundane cruelties of adulthood. And the hardest part? I knew I was part of the exhaustion. My own anxieties, my own fears of failure, bled into our space. I couldn't be your sanctuary anymore because my own walls were caving in. The most painful goodbyes are the ones where two people still love each other, but have to walk away to save themselves. We didn't fall out of love. We fell out of endurance. The day we finally called it, there was no screaming. There were just tears, a quiet, devastating surrender. We sat on the living room floor, holding hands, fully aware that the love was still there, pulsing beneath our skin. But love, contrary to what the movies tell us, is not always enough. It cannot pay the rent. It cannot cure burnout. It cannot fix the timing of two lives, moving at different speeds on fractured paths. The first few weeks after you left, I was angry. Not at you, but at the universe. I raged against the unfairness of it all. Why do we meet the right person at the wrong time? Why does life force us to choose between our survival and our hearts? But healing is a strange, non-linear process. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens in micro moments of acceptance. It happened when I went to the grocery store and didn't instinctively reach for your favorite brand of coffee. It happened when I heard that song, our song, and instead of shattering, I just smiled at the memory of you dancing in the kitchen. I am learning to breathe again. I am learning that letting you go was the ultimate act of love. If I had held on, if I had forced us to stay in that pressure cooker, we would have eventually grown to resent each other. We preserved the beauty of what we had by choosing to step away before it turned toxic. Healing isn't about forgetting, it's about integrating the loss into who you are. You changed my emotional DNA. You taught me how to be vulnerable, how to listen, how to care for someone deeply. I carry those lessons with me now. They are the artifacts of our time together. To heal from you is not to erase you. It is to build a museum in my heart where your memory can rest peacefully, behind glass, beautiful, but no longer mine to touch. Sometimes, right before I fall asleep, my mind drifts to the concept of parallel universes. It's a comforting thought, a quiet sanctuary I retreat to when the longing gets too heavy. Maybe in another life. Sometimes, right before I fall asleep, my mind drifts to the concept of parallel universes. It's a comforting thought, a quiet sanctuary I retreat to when the longing gets too heavy. I like to think that somewhere out there, in another timeline, the timing was right. In that life, the world wasn't so demanding. The bills were paid, the careers were stable, and the universe gave us the breathing room we so desperately needed. In that life, we didn't have to carry the weight of our past traumas or our future anxieties. We just got to be. In that life, we bought that little house with the wrap-around porch we always talked about. You are sitting there right now, reading a book in the afternoon sun, and I am walking up the steps with 2 mugs of coffee. We look at each other and there's no exhaustion in our eyes, only peace. Maybe in another life, the universe wasn't so jealous of our light. Maybe in another life, we are the standard by which all other love stories are measured. Maybe in another life we made it, but we are in this life. And in this life, I have to let you go. I want you to know that I forgive the circumstances that tore us apart, and I forgive myself for not being able to fix them. Most importantly, I want you to know that I am rooting for you. I hope you find the success you are working so relentlessly for. I hope the heavy burden you carried on your shoulders has finally been lifted. I hope you find a love that meets you in the right season, a love that is easy, safe, and enduring. We were a beautiful collision, a fleeting, brilliant comet that lit up my sky for a little while. And even though the sky is dark again, I will never forget the way it looked when you were here. Take care of yourself. I will always love the version of you that belonged to me, and I will always cherish the version of us that exists in another life.